All right, hopefully the last laptop stream for a while, chat. A good choice. Previously on Kimba TV. 85 to... Nah, you want to go higher if you want to short. If you want to short, you go for the CME gap. Somebody just asked about a dip the tip. So if you want to short, it would be dip the tip, as in like it opens like this. I don't even know if you would want that, to be honest. So you would aim higher. Maybe this. I guess that's fair game. Make sure you're aware of all of this. So I mean, it's just a bearish retest of that probably, bro. Copy trading says TA time. Sure. But I don't know if you remember, but tomorrow was CPI, and then Monday and Tuesday is kind of like your opportunity to do what you think is right. The biggest TA that we could probably look at today is going to be this. So like understanding where value is, where settlement is. You're still within RTH gap, right? So you're still within the RTH gap. You couldn't get out of it. Okay. And then you're outside of value area high. Settlement is in between value area low. So if you can't stay outside of value area high, you're most likely going to rotate to the other side. And then at that point, you're below VWAP. And so any sort of bearish retest of settlement would most likely lead to lower. So how many people in longs right now? Hands up. How many people in longs right now? Hands up if you're in a long right now. Okay, collectively, y'all sentiment scores are way too low. Okay, you're gonna get swept. Oh no! Shit! Y'all already in longs, you're gonna get stopped out. Fuck! Wait, what do you mean? Yeah, the data is the data. Too many lion cubs in that long. Damn it, I knew it. Yeah, I don't think it's finished going lower, to be honest. Low isn't that great. When I saw it pixel fucking our box like that, I was like, dude, ain't no way. Yeah. So I don't think it's finished to the downside. And I think you guys remember us talking about this on Friday last week. But you guys remember when we said it might give us an opportunity to get in on Monday or Tuesday, but depending on how quickly it, gains value or not, we need to be aware of the Wednesday debate. If you took a long, there's nothing wrong with it. You just have to understand that the way in which you did it, like leaving the low like that, is not really the greatest way that you would want to start off. So, yeah, taking a long is actually, I mean, you're not shorting down there, I would hope. No one is shorting down there, but yeah, I mean, if you already have a long, just put your stop loss at break even or in profit. I would assume you TP'd a little bit at the top of the CME gap. If you're really bullish, you're gonna be able to do this. If you can't hold that, and you know, you're probably gonna rotate down this way. And then if you do a bearish retest, you're gonna probably go lower. So it's just bing bong ding dong, but it's like the classic case of value. We don't know where RTH is gonna open, right? But you have value high, value low, settlement, and then VWAP is outside. So if you're bullish, you have to do that. If you can't, then you lose all bullish edge. Most likely you're gonna clean that low again. So that's about it. Copy trading, you know, I think it's just a continuation off of everything we talked about on Friday, to be honest. At least for me, it's a continuation of what we talked about on Friday. You guys remember when we said there might be an opportunity to long on Monday or Tuesday, but depending on like, for example, whenever we make a low, we always ask ourselves, is that a good low or is that a bad low? So it doesn't look that great. And so the bulls would have to defend value area high. And you probably, most of you guys didn't need me to say any of that shit. If you've been paying attention to like how value is built. And like, to be honest, I don't think it's great that you built the previous session value at the bottom half of the RTH gap, to be honest. I don't think that's bullish. You know, it would be completely different if the value area high was maybe here, settlement was here, and value area low was here, because that would have meant that during the RTH, it already started. You know, but RTH paused like this. So, yeah, probably still lower. Yeah. Something like that, but we'll see. I mean, I haven't, there's probably hella people also wanting lower, you know. It's just really, I think for me, trying to finesse between people, retail longers getting in a little bit too early. Their dreams need to be destroyed. Because there's still retail traders that are willing to long here. Too easy. So let's go lose like 70, really make them pussyfoot, and then rock it out of them. You know? So, but I think like, I don't think it's that great that you built value, previous session value, in the lower half of CME gap. I think that's kind of shitty. Low doesn't look that great. And we drew this box for a reason. For it to pixel fuck like that, for me, I'm like, nah. Get your ass back there. So yeah, we'll just have to sit through what today feels like. I'm not gonna get got on some like clean. Maybe one more up there. Get up closer to like 82.3 or whatever that naked point of control is. So yeah, something like that, brothers. Any questions? You guys okay? So I don't know what you mean by losing, but do you remember we talked about like 4-hour or daily candle close would be losing, but I would be okay with like a 1-hour failed auction or 4-hour SFP, right? So yeah, everything that we talked about last week and the week before is in play basically. So Juski says we probably going to 92 from here. Your sentiment score is way too low, Juski. It's probably gonna go lower. Guigri Goleto says, can you explain a naked point of control for us, please? I always get confused. What are you confused about? So naked means that it's untapped. Point of control is what? Where it had the most amount of volume. So is there a specific question that you have for me? It's self-explanatory. It's in the name. Naked means it's untapped. And then you know what point of control is, right? So it's an untapped point of control. What Well, you guys already know what it is. So nice little short right there. What'd you guys think about that? 5-second alpha TA. Clean the overnight highs, and we're gonna see the value area high tested and the VWAP tested. Yes? I don't think it'll hold, but we'll see. Yes? And we'll have to keep an eye on S&P, as the S&P confluence is going to be the most important thing for me this week. Yeah! 15-second alpha TA in the building. How many of you guys were here at the beginning of the stream? How many of you guys were here at the beginning of the stream? How many lion cubs are like, dude, I'm never going to be late to a stream again, because it could be the difference between a couple $1,000s. Chat, what do you guys think about this? Did anybody clip it? Did anybody clip the TA? What do you think about this? Good job. Okay, what do you think about this? VWAP and bullish retest of value area high. How many of you guys are going to actually take notes and write this shit down so the next time it's an opportunity like this, you don't even need me to tell you? I don't know what to say, man. The math. Overnight high got swept. All right. Value area high, settlement, value area low. If it's really going to be bullish, bulls need to do what? Okay. I don't think value area high and VWAP is going to hold, but it doesn't. I'm not here to predict the future. Okay. I need to be objective and understand that any sort of structural or open interest edge would be good enough, and I need to concede that it is getting turned into support. Okay? But levels, math, probabilities. And like I've been saying for the last couple of weeks, today is just, you know, getting ready for tomorrow type of shit. Jay Fausty says, thanks for everything, Kimbo. I'm glad to be here. We're glad you're here, Jay Fausty. Love you, big dog. Inky says, I was waiting last night. Oh, man, my bad, Inky. I'll try to come back again tonight, but, like, I didn't really feel like you guys really needed my help or anything last night, because it was pretty much what we talked about, Inky. The levels were already set, so, like, think about this. Inky, you remember being here when I drew this box? You remember when I drew this box and I said, if it touches this box and then it gets above the gap again, I would long this, and wherever this low is set, whether it was here or here or here, remember that was the stop loss? So remember when we drew this box a week ago and we said that if it does this, or if it does this, or if it does this, if it gets above back at the gap is the entry, and wherever this low is the stop loss. Remember that was the plan a week ago? Right? And then do you remember remember what we said? If the low is set, tell me if it's good or bad. And if it is a bad low, then all you need to do is put your stop loss in profit so you can't lose. Isn't it crazy that the golden pocket is right on settlement? Yeah, so to be honest, Inky, I wanted to kind of just give you guys your own chance to, again, memory recall, right? Like, we talked about that so many fucking times, you know? So I just didn't think like I was going to provide much value since we already talked about all this shit a week ago. So yeah, let me know if you have any other questions. I mean, so you were here earlier, right? So just like you know, we talked about last week, if this swing fails, then it's the same play. That's your stop loss. That's your entry, right? So if it had done this and I hadn't talked about this right now, would you have been able to do that? Because if you weren't going to be able to do that, then you really need to figure out why you can't remember these basic plays. Like my 5-year-old niece could take this long. I think it's just a matter of like remembering. Frenzy says I did exactly the same even though I didn't remember the plan. Well, maybe that's better, Frenzy. Instead of you just doing what I said and memorizing what I said, you actually knew why you did it. You feel me? Coke Zero says I was here and that's why I'm fucking long. Nice, nice. Yeah, but you know that's gonna get swept, right? So put your stop loss in a good place and be ready to try it again, right, Coke Zero? When is Warzizi coming back? Thursday or Friday when I get my computers up and running. All right, let me put this back on 30-minute chat. A baby kajoy. Cloudy says, can we stop talking about having a job? That's okay. Bullets for Blunt says, these people think they're gonna get rich off of 50K prop accounts. Yeah, no, that ain't happening. Especially with a prop firm.
I said, are you strong? They said, I'm strong if you strong. And I said, we strong then.
All right, any questions? 5 more minutes.
Let's
S&P still looks good. I'm just
now.
staring at the S&P order flow to make sure that we still have a chance to go lower. So I'll let you guys know if anything bullish comes into S&P, but I mean, the whole morning it's been looking good, so. Lux Slayer says, how many of those shorts would you say are spot holders hedging their positions? I don't know if we could ever really truly conclude. What I would say, Lux Slayer, is like on Coinbase Spot, for example, how many spot people have sold between 109 and now? So that might kind of give you an idea of, because you can see how many people bought from like between the 15 and 30K low. So I don't know how many of those shorts are spot holders hedging their position, but I can see how many people that bought spot between 50 and 30 are still holding versus how many people have sold so far, right, Lux? But yeah, so worst case scenario, we're not going to cry about it. It is what it is. But I will be here about an hour, maybe even longer, even earlier, but at least an hour earlier than today. I wanted to show up a little bit earlier than today, but I swapped the monitors around, as you guys know, and so that took me a little bit of time. But tomorrow, I'll be here early. Okay? If you genuinely want to know if we're bullish or bearish, you can ask. But you know how I think that it might be bullish, or you know how I'm going to think about it being bearish. It's going to be data. Hey, MEXC83, I love you, brother. Thank you. Thank you for that. But yeah, I'll be, we're going to have levels to the upside, levels to the downside, right, chat? Gun to my head right now, I think the initial move is going to be a debate tomorrow. Okay? And maybe that's the last thing that we talk about before we go into starting the day. You know, on why I think that and what data is still showing that. But until I get to, I get more data, it's kind of hard to tell. That's why I said, gun to my head. Yeah, tomorrow might be it. And obviously, aware of our biases, but I'm ready to short if it wants to scam pump. I'm ready to long if it wants to scam dump. I have levels, so I'm going to be patient. All right. And we'll let the data decide everything. So 15 more minutes on the hourly candle close. And after that, so there's what? What time is it in New York? Well, there's 2 hours and 15 minutes left. Am I right? Yeah, you guys have 2 hours and 15 minutes left until U.S. market close. And so be careful. All right. Kimba, why isn't Bitcoin dumping as hard as S&P? You guys know what it usually does, right? Kimba, why isn't Bitcoin pumping as much as S&P? You guys know what it usually does, right? Macaulay is going to be important. Keep an eye on that ETH gap. All right, I think you guys are good. I'm rooting for you guys, man. Longers, shorters, maybe people with both. Do you? All right, time spent above value. Time spent above VWAP. Time spent above gap. All right, time spent below value. Time spent below settlement. Time spent below gap. All right, are the highs good? What about the lows? Where are the levels of interest where we might be able to get a little swing fail tomorrow? All right. Last but not least, don't just be planning for the easiest shit. You know it's going to be fast. You know it's going to be slow. All right. The objective isn't necessarily to have the pixel perfect bottom long or the pixel perfect top short. It's about not getting got. So, all right. Make sure you guys have levels to the upside. If you need them, I'll flash them again one more time. Okay, for CME, I think these are the levels. Derivatives, it's basically 85, 92, 72. And then you've got the single prints and naked point of controls all around the 84, 86 zone. Okay. And then Boo Gammas. Help each other out, root for each other. Exclamation Discord, exclamation YouTube. Be ready for the big giveaways. All right. Maybe I'll see you guys tomorrow night, or excuse me, tonight. But for sure, I'll be here hella early tomorrow.